Okay, this is Bill with Steel FX. This is just a very short video to talk about the 2K SprayMax 2-component clear coat. There's a cartridge inside the can that you pull this cap off, pull out the red plunger, stick it on this valve, and then you wrap it on a solid surface, and that opens up the inner container. So I've already done that, and because you have to, once you do that, you have to shake it for a couple minutes, which I've already done. So we'll just set that here. And what I'm going to do real quickly is take a little purple dye, just a wee little bit. I want to make sure the color's about right. And I'm going to airbrush just a little bit of purple dye into some of these silver areas. This piece is 12-inch diameter, stainless steel with a brushed finish. And then I put the gold dye on there just by drizzling it on. Now we're going to show the difference between what that looks like unfinished and with the clear coat. But I wanted to get a little more color in it, so we're going to add just a little bit of purple here and there. You don't need much. And do a little test. I got my pressure set at 25. I'm going to go up to about 30. And all I'm going to do is just carefully put in just a little bit of color here and there. Nothing extreme. But you'll see when I clear coat it the huge difference between what the dye looks like unfinished and what it looks like with the clear coat on. I don't want to take up too much video time doing this. This is not a piece for a customer or anything, but I just wanted to show you what can be done. With these airbrushes, you can get a real fine line by holding it really close, and the more you practice, the better you'll get at that. But I just want to give it a little bit of color variation here and there. Just a little purple in those, not all of those areas, but some of them. Just a little light purple. I think purple and gold go really well together, and concentrate right there in the middle to give it kind of a shadow effect. And there's a lot of things you can do. But this isn't an airbrush video. This is to show you the difference between an unfinished color or combination of colors and what it looks like with the clear coat added, which we're going to do in just a second. But it's just so dang easy to add color with the airbrush. Hopefully I've got the lighting where you can see that okay. I put this on a rotatable deal where hopefully you can see it real well. I'm just going to add a little bit more here for fun and balance it out in case somebody comes in my shop and wants to buy it. That's happened, believe me. Just a little bit of purple here and there. Okay, if you can kind of see, I'm going to pick that piece up. It's non-magnetic, so I've got a magnetic holder behind it, which isn't doing much. But stick this back in the cradle. And you can see that that's not shiny at all. There's nothing shiny about that. It's just kind of a matte, dull finish. The gold dye and the purple dye. It's pretty dull looking. But now we're going to put clear on it. And I'm standing right in the way of the light. Hopefully you can see that real well. I'm going to tip that down just a little bit, and then I'll show it to you at different angles when I'm done. This has already been shook up. Put the lid back on this dye before I spill it. And what I do, this nozzle is adjustable to where you can do your fan either horizontally or vertically. When it's in the horizontal position, your fan will be vertical. And when that little black tab is vertical, then your fan will be horizontal. But what I do is I start at the bottom, and I go across and back and back and back and back. I also hit, that vise is covered in plastic so it won't hurt anything, but I also hit a spot or two with clear so I can test it to see when it's ready for the next coat, because you always want to do 2 coats. You rotate that and see if you can see the light hitting it. See a little bit of color variance. And it'll be just a second before I put the second coat on. But you can see, as I rotate that, different angles, you can see that the colors are now extremely vivid. And that's only with one white coat. I've got a couple of problems here. I might be able to suck them off, I might not. Nope. But we're not building a watch here, so it's not that important. Okay, now what I do is I touch that area that I spray painted, and to see if it's tacky. I want it to be tacky and leave a fingerprint, but I don't want it to pull spider webs off of the surface, you know, little strings of paint. When it's tacky, when it's ready for a second coat, it'll leave a fingerprint, but it won't have a bunch of spider webs coming off. And that's true whether you're using this or any 2-part clear like the Deltron DC3000. This comes awfully close to mimicking the quality of the coat and the film thickness of DC3000. So it's, let me sneak into that camera and see if we can see that real well. And wherever I put it, it's not that great. But okay, now for the second coat. When I'm doing a piece of steel, I always go around the perimeter, but and then I do 1 coat on the back and 2 coats on the front. But for the second coat, you do the same thing. You just about 6 inches from the surface of the steel. 5 to 6 inches is about right. Let's just say 5 to 8 inches would be okay. But what you want to do when you come back on your overlapping pass, you want to overlap that first pass by about 50 to 60%. You don't want to be in a whole new area. So watch how I do this. I'll kind of do it slow, which runs the risk of getting a sag, but you need to see how I do it. You can start at the left side, right side, top. It doesn't really matter. I just have a habit of starting at the bottom. So we'll go across, back, 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 back. Everything there got 2 good coats. I see no runs at all, and that will cure. That'll be a full cure overnight, but with a heat lamp, which I don't have in this video, shortwave infrared heat lamp, which aren't that expensive, less than 200 bucks. But with the heat lamp on this at about 36 inches, you've got a full cure in about 10 minutes. 100% full cure. I'm going to pick up this whole tripod and I'm going to show you different angles of that clear, and hopefully you can see that it's see how shiny it is. It looks like it's been dipped in glass. It's just extremely shiny. And that's about it. So I'm gonna call that good for this video, and we'll talk to you more about different finishing techniques in the near future. Thanks a lot. This is Bill Worden, Steel FX.